He climbed the same ladder for 20 years. Then one day, the ladder disappeared and took his career with it. In a busy city where craftsmen competed for the best positions, two workers started at the same company on the same day. Both were hired as scribes, copying documents by hand for merchants and officials. Both earned the same wage. Both had the same opportunity to advance. But 15 years later, one became the head of the entire department while the other lost his job completely. And the difference wasn't talent or luck. It was whether they saw the ladder falling before it hit the ground. The first worker's name was Bahir. Bahir was proud of his work. He had beautiful handwriting. He could copy documents faster and more accurately than almost anyone. Merchants praised his skill. Officials requested him specifically. Bahir thought, "I'm the best at what I do. As long as I keep getting better at copying, I'll always have work." So that's exactly what Bahir did. He practiced his handwriting every night. He learned new styles. He got faster. He became the absolute master of manual document copying. Nobody could match him. People would say, "Bahir is irreplaceable. Look at how perfect his work is." And Bahir believed them. He thought being irreplaceable meant being safe. But then something changed. A new technology arrived in the city. The printing press. Suddenly, documents that took Bahir hours to copy by hand could be printed in minutes. Perfect copies, hundreds of them, faster than any human could write. When Bahir first heard about printing presses, he dismissed them. That's not real craftsmanship. Hand-copied documents have soul. People will always want quality over speed. But people didn't want soul. They wanted speed and cost savings. Within months, demand for hand-copied documents dropped by half. Within a year, it dropped by 90%. Bahir's employer called him in and said, "We're transitioning to printing presses. You need to learn how to operate them." Bahir refused. "I'm a scribe. I copy documents by hand. That's my skill. That's what I've spent 15 years perfecting. I'm not going to abandon my craft for some machine." The employer tried to explain. The world is changing. Hand copying is dying. If you don't adapt, you won't have a job. But Bahir didn't listen. He thought his skill was so valuable that someone would always need it. He was wrong. Within 2 years, almost nobody wanted hand-copied documents anymore. Bahir's company let him go. Other companies weren't hiring scribes. The ladder Bahir had been climbing his entire career had fallen, and Bahir fell with it. At 50 years old, Bahir had spent his whole life mastering a skill nobody wanted anymore. He had climbed a ladder that no longer existed. The second worker's name was Karim. When Karim started as a scribe, he was also good at his job. But Karim paid attention to something Bahir ignored. He watched the world changing around him. When Karim first heard about printing presses, he didn't dismiss them. He got curious. He visited a shop that had one. He watched it work, and he realized something important. This technology is going to replace hand copying. My current skill has an expiration date. I need to adapt before the ladder falls. Karim went to his employer and said, "I want to learn how to operate the printing press." The employer was surprised. "But you're one of our best scribes. Why would you want to change?" Karim replied, "Because being the best at something that's dying doesn't help me. I'd rather be average at something that's growing. Kareem spent 6 months learning the new technology. It was frustrating. He wasn't good at it initially. He made mistakes. His printing work wasn't as beautiful as his handwriting. But he kept learning. While Bahir was perfecting a dying skill, Kareem was building a future skill. After a year, Kareem could operate printing presses better than almost anyone in the company. After 2 years, he was training others. After 5 years, he was managing the entire printing department. After 10 years, he was head of the company's document production. Kareem earned triple what he made as a scribe. He had security. He had a future. All because he climbed down from a falling ladder before it hit the ground. One day, years later, Bahir ran into Kareem outside the old company building. Bahir was still looking for work, struggling to survive. Kareem was arriving in a carriage, well-dressed and successful. Bahir stopped him and said, "We started the same. We had the same skills. Why did you succeed and I failed?" Kareem looked at him and said, "Because I saw the ladder falling and you didn't." Bahir didn't understand. Kareem explained, "You spent 15 years becoming the best scribe in the city, but you were climbing a ladder that was already falling. You were so focused on your current skill that you ignored the future. I wasn't as good as you at hand copying, but I saw that skill dying. So I learned the skill that was rising. You mastered yesterday. I prepared for tomorrow." Here's the truth about careers. That destroys most people. The ladder you're climbing today might not exist tomorrow. Technology changes. Markets shift. Industries die. Skills that were valuable 10 years ago become worthless. And if you're only focused on getting better at your current job, you're setting yourself up to fall when that job disappears. Bahir represents most workers. They find something they're good at and spend their entire career perfecting it. They think being the best at their current skill makes them safe. It doesn't. Being the best blacksmith meant nothing when cars replaced horses. Being the best film photographer meant nothing when digital cameras arrived. Being the best at any dying skill is just being the last person to lose their job. Kareem represents people who build lasting careers. They don't just perfect current skills. They watch for change. They see which ladders are falling and which are rising. They adapt before they have to. Think about your own career. Are you climbing a ladder that's falling? Is your industry changing? Are new technologies threatening your role? Are your skills becoming less valuable? Most people ignore these signs. They tell themselves, "I'm good at what I do. Someone will always need this." But that's what every displaced worker thought before they lost everything. The printing press happened centuries ago. But it happens every decade in different industries. AI is replacing certain jobs. Automation is taking others. New technologies are making old skills obsolete. If your career depends on doing something a computer or robot can do better, your ladder is falling. If you're in an industry that's shrinking, your ladder is falling. If your skills haven't evolved in 5 years, your ladder is falling. The solution isn't to work harder at your current job. It's to start learning the skills that matter tomorrow. Climb down from the falling ladder and find one that's rising. Bahir climbed one ladder for 20 years. It fell and he had nothing. Kareem climbed for 5 years, saw it falling, switched ladders, and thrived. Same start. Different awareness. One fell, one flew. Don't wait for your ladder to hit the ground. Adapt now. Watch the next one.